Good morning. Welcome. I'm Laura Bussing. I'm a certified One Mind Dogs instructor, and I want to welcome you to Handling Techniques 1 seminar. This is a 2-day seminar that covers the 8 most common handling techniques that we use for running courses. And of course, those 8 techniques are front cross, false turn, backside send, blind cross, rear cross, reverse spin, whiskey cross, and a lap turn. Over the next 2 days, we are going to break that list down into 4 different techniques each day. In the mornings, I'm going to teach you the technique and have you practice it first with a human dog and then your own dog. After lunch, in the afternoon, we're going to take these techniques and apply them to a course. First, I'll have you practice it with a virtual dog and then your own dog. Virtual dog might be a new concept for some of you guys, but I will walk you through that. So we're going to break these courses down into small sequences so that the dogs can be successful, and that also so that you can get confident in the new handling technique that you're learning. I'm going to give you feedback along every step of the way and support you as you're going through the different handling techniques and the mechanics that takes to execute each one of the techniques. During the next 2 days, you're going to hear me mention a lot of key concepts about the One Mind Dogs methodology and philosophy. The first one, of course, is the most important one, which are the 3 C's: connect, commit, and cue. My goal over the next 2 days is to help you get connected with your dog, for you to see the commitment when your dogs commit to an obstacle, and for you to proactively cue, okay? The next thing that you're going to hear me say a lot about are the 7 handling elements and how all of the 7 handling elements support one another in cueing a handling technique. And of course, those are motion, position, eyes, chest, feet, hands, and of course, verbals. The other thing you're going to hear me talk about a lot is dog's perspective. We're going to look at these courses and the handling techniques with the dog's perspective, numero uno in our mind. You're also going to hear me talk about handling lines and not obstacles. It's important for us to handle the dog's running path as opposed to wanting to handle just the obstacle as a standalone piece of equipment. So you'll hear me talk about handling lines, not the obstacles. You're also going to hear me talk a lot about the virtual dog. The virtual dog is just that imaginary dog that is your own dog that you can virtually see running the course with you. And I'll help you go through that and how to best do that, and so that you get the most out of visualization and how that can help you be able to learn without having your dog right there with you. You also will hear me talk about human dogs, so that's us. We're going to pretend like we're dogs and let other handlers run us. You're also going to hear me talk about intended line versus natural line. The natural line on the course is what jump, jump, tunnel might flow to, and however, the next place on course where we need to be is not on this natural flowing line, but we need to influence the intended line of the course. And so that's what our handling elements do, is we influence an intended line for our dog to run. And you're going to hear me tell you over and over to trust your dog. What I want you to do is when you see your dog commit, that you move and go to the next obstacle. That's really important, that you trust your dog. Our dogs are really brilliant, and if you trust your dog, your handling and the coursework is going to be much easier, and you're going to have a lot more success on course. You'll also hear me talk about takeoff point and landing as it relates to obstacles. And of course, landmarks. I'm going to talk a lot about landmarks so that you guys can orient yourself when you're out on the course and not feel like you're getting lost. So you'll hear me discuss landmarks as well. To recap, today we're going to learn 4 techniques this morning. I'm going to train you and your dog on all the specifics and mechanics of the techniques. And really today, my whole goal is to help you guys understand your dogs better and to help you become the best possible teammate for your dog. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. If not, let's get started with the front cross. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the front cross with my human dog. The front cross is used on courses whenever we need to change handling sides and there is a turn on course that's at least around 90 degrees. The front cross is executed using 7 handling elements that all support one another. The first handling element is motion. Our motion should be towards the first obstacle that the dog is going towards, and then our motion should be towards the obstacle where the dog is going to go after the front cross. Our position on course is going to be after the front cross. We're going to be 1 step off of the dog's intended line and supporting the dog's direction of travel towards the next obstacle. Our eyes. As the dog is approaching the obstacle, we're going to have our eyes on him. The moment we see him commit and we start executing the front cross, our eyes will then go to the intended line and we will pick the dog up after landing and proceed on. Our chest. Our chest laser is going to point to takeoff, and then after the dog has landed and we are executing our front cross, our chest laser will then point to the next obstacle on course. Our feet. Our feet on our dog side, leg and arm, we're going to step towards takeoff. After the dog, or when the dog is landing and we're executing our front cross, our feet will then be pointed in the direction of the next obstacle, and we will be, of course, 1 step off of the dog's line. Our arms and hands, again, our dog side, arm and leg, they're going to work together in tandem, and they're going to support the step towards takeoff. And then as the dog is coming over the jump and it's about to land, we will change handling sides, and now the dog is on the opposite side and supporting the dog's intended line to the next obstacle. Verbals is the last of the 7 handling elements. Verbals are not something you're going to use in every particular instance. If you have a verbal here that you would like to use, you certainly can use it. For the most part, you might not need a verbal. So just know that all the other 6 handling elements are what truly supports the dog and gives them the information that they need to be on the intended line. And if you have a verbal, your verbal is just going to support that and back up your physical information. Those are the 7 handling elements, and just to demonstrate them all together, I didn't want to speak about them and try to move at the same time. So here they go all together. Okay, so motion, position, eyes, chest, feet, hands, verbals. There's not really a verbal to do here, so I didn't use one. But all those 7 handling elements will need to support one another and make a nice line for the dog that he understands clearly where he is going, and we're doing this proactively prior to takeoff. Go. So to recap about the front cross, the reason why we use the front cross is to change handling sides from one side to the next, and generally we use that whenever there is a turn on course. By executing the front cross prior to the dog taking off, we are handling the dog's line in a turn. And remember, we're trying to handle the line, these orange strings that I have on the ground. That's what I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with this obstacle, but I'm concerned with handling the dog's line along it. So we're giving our dog proactive information about this turn, and so now the dog can continue effortlessly on the intended line because we were very proactive about when we cued the front cross. And if anyone has any questions, I'll take them, but what I'd like for you to do is, I want to stop talking. I want for you guys to start learning. So let's do some human dog exercises.